Yeah, they were very curious about what we were doing. They came to tour our sets. They would watch scenes that we were cutting together. They wanted to get to know these people as they were working on their story and their script, so that they could sort of I could pass the baton to them, and these characters would be well cared for. I mean, they say 90% of directing is casting, and maybe it's even 99%, especially when you're bringing Marvel's first family. And so we did a long process. We met with a lot of folks, we auditioned a lot of folks, but it was these four that really just stood out individually to me as being the right people for their parts. But then I was also thinking about who would be an interesting brother-sister, who would be interesting husband and wife, who would be interesting best friends, and I just had an instinct that they all would fit together. And then we had 3 weeks of rehearsal because I really wanted to build that history. I wanted to make this family feel lived in, and you need that time to kind of build that. And also, listen, great actors create great chemistry, and if we gave them the proper sort of sandbox to play in, that would happen. But with these guys, it happened like that. It was amazing. Yeah. Very early on, Galactus is one of the iconic villains of the Fantastic Four and of Marvel in general. He's literally the biggest thing in the universe, this 1,000-foot tall cosmic vampire. And I love this notion of the biggest, oldest thing in the universe coming into conflict with the tiniest, most innocent, newest thing in the universe, which is a baby, which is Franklin. And so it was that idea, that was the original notion of why Galactus. Yeah, H.E.R.B.I.E's great, but we were doing this retro-futuristic 1960s, right? So it was half Jack Kirby, half Fantastic Four, and half Stanley Kubrick, 2001. So the idea of having a robot felt right, and H.E.R.B.I's classic, but he was invented in the 70s. So we were just pulling him back into the 60s with his sort of IBM computer eyes, and he's just a part of the family. He's an expression of Reed's technology, and he's sort of like the iPhone. There's one H.E.R.B.I.E Prime, but then there are all these other little consumer H.E.R.B.Ies that are zipping around delivering packages and doing stuff. And so it's one of the ways Reed's changed the world.
Working with Vanessa to establish our kind of sibling relationship, it was a joy. I mean, I'm such a fan of hers as an actor. We just spent a lot of time together. I don't think myself and Vanessa did anything kind of differently to the character work and just the life work that we did with the other two. I'm as much a brother to Ben as I am a brother to Sue. There's obviously this kind of a biological aspect there, but the family are so tight that we all invested a lot of time in each other, which felt like no hardship, and it didn't feel laboursome. It was just, we all loved each other very much. But Vanessa, she is a special woman. Very glad to have her as my sister.
What can you tease about their arc that we're going to see in Fantastic Four?
Nothing. I mean, I think she likes that, he's curious in a way. And maybe he likes that she's mysterious. I don't know. So,
and working with Joseph?
He's amazing. He's absolutely incredible. He's such a kind human, and he can do anything, really. He's a truly remarkable actor.
I have no idea what Kevin Feige and everybody have planned, but yeah, I worked with Robert a few years ago on Doolittle for a few days, and he's an absolute gentleman and an amazing actor, so I loved having the chance to work with him and watch him work. So yeah, if I got the chance to team up with him again, of course I would.